This is Shoot from the Hip.
Welcome back to the Shoot from the Hip podcast. It's another day, isn't it?
It is another day.
That was profound.
Yes, I'm full of profound thoughts.
Yesterday was a day.
Another profound thought that I have is we need people right now, as you begin this podcast, to hop on over to our Facebook page. That's facebook.com/Shoot from the Hip podcast. And go ahead and give it a like.
Yeah.
Follow it over there. You could do the same over on Instagram. You could do it on Twitter too.
Yeah.
Twitter's probably one of our least popular, but go for it.
Yeah, you could even hit up our website, sfthpodcast.com,
Yeah.
and do all three from one page.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Instagram,
That's a lot.
Twitters.
And you know what? It's even connected to our SoundCloud.
That's it.
Yeah.
I
You need
mean,
one spot.
What do we need all this other stuff for?
yeah, just go to the website.
But if you could also give a review and a rating, that'd be super helpful too.
Yeah.
That's a big thing that we could use.
Yeah, we need some ratings.
We need your help, is what we're saying.
It really does help.
Yes.
It really does.
But with that being said, let's move on to our show. We've had some interesting things come out of this Epstein stuff, conspiracy-wise. There's been a lot of speculation, a lot of conspiracy, and so with that, we thought it'd be fun to do a conspiracy theories roundtable.
Yes.
Talk about some of the best conspiracies.
I gotta
we've
be
ever
honest, I'm pretty excited about this one.
heard. There's a lot out there for sure.
Man.
It goes a lot farther than Alex Jones and others.
And here's the weird thing. Do you notice they're all connected? If you dig deep
Oh
enough,
Yeah.
they're all connected.
Yes.
Yes.
It's always they all. It always starts with like.
I knew that was going to happen.
We got random music.
We're just cutting this music off. I'm having technical difficulties before the show started over here. So
That was
Dude,
exciting.
We're talking about conspiracy theories and just randomly something.
they're trying to
Something
shut
patriotic.
us down.
Yeah. Alex Jones is changing our music. Just what were we talking about? No, it usually starts with like one or two particular conspiracies, and that's moon landing stuff,
Yes.
and then JFK.
JFK.
Oh, yeah.
I think JFK is probably like the root of all.
Yeah.
Well, there's also all the
Conspiracies.
alien ones, too. I love the alien
Yeah,
conspiracy
but it's
theories.
because of JFK.
Oh, yeah.
We wouldn't have gone to space. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
You heard the Neil Armstrong, right?
Oh, yeah.
They said, did we send him to the moon or did we send him back to the moon?
No.
Because that's where he was from.
Haven't heard
If
that
you
one.
take Neil A, spell it backwards, it spells alien. I don't know. It's just a little bit of a coincidence, if you ask me. So
Neil A.
For me, like when I start looking or hearing about a conspiracy, at first is the best part. The very beginning, like, you're new to it. It all sounds good, And that's where I like to be.
Yeah.
Because if you keep digging,
Yeah, just
usually
leave
it
it
just
alone.
goes south.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
if you just, just stay right there, just knowing a little bit about it.
yeah.
Yeah.
If
So
you keep digging, it goes south. How profound.
Literally.
so
Sort of.
do one of you guys want to start off with a conspiracy theory?
I thought you would be a good one to do that.
It sounded like you did
I do want
already.
to be the first one.
Okay, go ahead.
So this is one that you will. I don't know if you guys have ever heard this before. I've only heard one person tell me this,
Okay.
and they told it to me like it was just the truth, and there's no way you can change their mind. Okay.
Okay.
And so I gave this one a title. Actually, I gave all of mine a title. This one is called "McDonald's Burgers Have Children Meat in Them."
Whoa.
Yeah. So according to this,
Soylent
Wait, it has
Green.
the meat of children in them?
like, okay, so the rumor is on Halloween.
What else?
Children's meat. I didn't know if you were talking about like meat that's been chewed up by a child, spat out, and then made into a burger.
Yeah, yes, pretty much.
Completely plausible.
Pretty much. So,
all right.
so
Just
the story goes, on Halloween night is the night that like most kids get abducted. I mean,
Okay.
kind of just, I guess it makes sense, right?
Yeah.
But the story goes, Halloween, children are kidnapped by Satan worshippers or the Illuminati. One of those two.
Yeah.
I don't know.
They're hand
they're
in
the one
hand.
and the same.
Yeah, they're probably the same thing. But basically, when they kidnap these kids, they sell them to McDonald's, and McDonald's grinds them up and puts them in the hamburgers.
Man,
And-
McDonald's is worse than I thought. Let's go back to Wendy's.
But the cow is so much cheaper.
Yeah, I don't know.
So much more meat.
I think it's, I don't know. It got into some weird stuff when the guy was telling me, but he was so dead set on this. Like, he won't eat McDonald's
Yeah, what's
ever.
the point?
Yeah, do they have a motive? Because part of the conspiracy stuff
It's not
is
like
this,
it makes their meat better, obviously.
But see, these kind of things usually hint to mind control or something
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that,
yeah.
right? Where if they can feed you X, Y, Z,
That's true,
they have
yeah.
some kind of control over you. So I'm assuming that would be the motivation behind it.
Like, isn't there some sort of mental thing that happens when you become a cannibal? Like, don't you become crazy?
Probably.
And maybe that's what they're
I
doing.
think you kind of have to be crazy to eat people.
Yeah. If you go crazy, or were you already crazy?
You're not starting off in a good place.
Yeah.
Yeah, good point. Good point.
Speaking of cannibal, I actually saw one about
Whoa.
Hillary Clinton is a cannibal.
No way.
Yeah.
Oh,
Huh.
yeah.
That's
yeah.
a big conspiracy.
I believe
Yeah,
it.
the,
I mean, like, it's Hillary Clinton. Anything's possible.
the whole Pizzagate.
You think she's going to eat Epstein then?
Well, I mean, why
'Cause
else
she
would
killed
she
him.
kill him? Wait, what is Pizzagate?
Are you guys familiar with Pizzagate?
I am familiar with Pizzagate.
I'm not.
All right.
Go for it.
So that's not on my list, all right? But we can
Right,
talk
right,
about
right.
it.
Yeah.
So the Pizzagate was there was this pizza shop in downtown DC, and it came out that the owner of this pizza shop was a big time supporter of the Clintons and everything. And then on their wall in the pizza shop are all these really bizarre photos. And then the email leaks came out, and apparently they're within the like pedophilia ring and all this kind of crazy
Yeah.
stuff. There are keywords that people say to substitute for like children and stuff, all this horrible stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
Right. So this one, they've cracked all these emails, and if you substitute these words in, it was talking about child sacrifice and everything, and it was coming from
Whoa.
Podesta, this guy who owned the pizza shop.
Yeah.
Right. And then somebody found like some old schematics, what do you call them, for the city. And apparently there used to be, and probably still is, a tunnel that led from the White House to that pizza parlor.
What?
And
Yeah.
like, just
It gets
like,
deep,
Yeah,
man.
it gets deep.
Whoa.
It gets, and this is like for a while was like one of the top like talked
Yeah.
about conspiracy
Yeah.
theories. Yeah.
Pizzagate.
Wow.
Yep.
Okay, well, we know that
Man, we're
if-
jumping in deep now.
yeah, just go right
Yeah.
into the deep end of the pool, right?
So I'll stick with the government thing since we're on it. NASA knows about a second sun, and they've hidden it from us.
What?
Let me read. Just a
I
little
want to
bit.
hear more before I say.
When NASA reported the discovery of a planet 9 in 2016, astronomer Paul Cox took to the internet to speculate that the planet was actually a second sun. In a live video posted to a robotic telescope service site called SLOW, Cox examined Mercury's transits and pointed out a second sun. NASA and other organizations, this is a quote right here. NASA and other organizations, they usually hide that stuff away from us. Cox said, they don't tell us the truth, but there it is.
So, like, the only problem with hiding a sun is it's really easy to see a sun.
Generally, yes.
Usually, you can see like you can see the sun pretty
right,
well.
right? Unless it's like eclipsed behind the moon always.
No, I mean, it all has to do with the wavelength of the light, right? What if it's emitting infrared
Ooh.
Oh, is that? Ooh, now we're getting real
or
techy here.
ultraviolet of some spectrum
wouldn't it-
that we're not?
Wouldn't it put out a pretty decent amount of heat, though? That's my thought.
I mean, that's just physics.
Yeah, whatever, it's all dumb.
Generally, they're not that small, too. I don't know.
Yeah. Usually they're pretty large.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what was the size supposed to be?
I don't know.
It isn't.
And is
I
this
have
guy?
no
Is
idea.
this guy a scientist? Is that what it said he was?
Astronomer.
So he is an
He
astronomer.
is an astronomer.
And what is his name?
Paul Cox.
Paul Cox.
Yep.
He's probably a smart guy.
Smart
Probably.
enough.
I don't know. You're the physicist.
Yeah, he's smart. He's probably right.
There's a second sun in our solar system.
Wow.
We had no idea it was there.
Wow. Epstein knew. That's why they got rid
That's
of
why
him.
they killed him.
He knew.
Anyway,
All right. So have you guys heard of the Finland conspiracy?
No.
That it doesn't exist?
Yes.
Yes.
What? Finland doesn't exist?
Finland doesn't exist.
What?
So side note here.
Yeah.
Reddit used to have a subreddit called "Our Conspiracies."
Yes.
That no longer exists.
Oh, interesting.
They took it down for whatever reason. I don't
Because
know.
they're
Whoa.
But one of the
Losers.
more popular like things they talked about on there, aside from 9/11,
yeah.
I'm sure that's
Bush
got a lot on
9/11.
there.
yeah, yeah.
was this Finland conspiracy, and pretty much it's just that Finland does not exist.
yeah.
That there is no Finland. Let me see if I can find the
Okay,
quote.
this is bad because I'm bad at geography and I can't picture where Finland is on the map.
The Finland conspiracy states that Finland is not a real country. Not only is it not a real country, but there is actually no landmass there at all, and the space between Sweden and Russia is actually empty ocean. So if you pull up a map and you look,
You've got those three fingers of countries.
Yes.
So
Right,
Norway, Sweden, and Finland.
Okay,
And they're all up there. They're the Viking countries.
right.
So you kind of know where
Yeah,
it's at
I
now.
got you now.
Yeah.
yeah. So the theory is that it's not that there are not people from Finland. There is a culture
Yeah.
that there is a Finnish people.
Yeah, but all of these people come from Sweden. Where else?
Yeah,
did
it's,
they
it's,
say
it's
Sweden,
either
Norway?
Western,
Like Estonia, I think was one of
Yeah.
the ones.
I'm looking up
Russia
a map.
essentially,
Yeah.
or Sweden. But
Yeah.
there is no. And see, the thing is,
The interesting thing is, I can think of a few different people, like off the top of my head,
yeah,
who were from Finland.
Yeah.
But they were actually they were in Finland for a period of time, but they were technically from one of those other
that's
countries.
the thing. Like everybody you talk to, apparently, and I just learned about this today. But everyone
Yeah.
you talk to, apparently, is like, yeah, I'm technically from this area, which is technically not Finland, and everybody's like, technically,
Right.
right? So like, there's actually no land mass for Finland, and it's
Right.
actually just established like sometime between World War I and II by the Russians, and they gave Japan fishing rights within that area, and that's where the name come from,
Fin-
from
oh.
fish, and it was
Because they speak English.
no, it was some other word that
Okay.
also means like
Fish.
fishing or something like that. But
Why do they want to fish in Finland? Like where Finland is? Why does Japan want to fish
That's
there?
a long way to go. Yeah.
Japan does not care where they got to go to get some good fish.
Did they have to fly him back to Japan?
No, it had something to do with like a certain type of fish that the Japanese people liked, but technically Japan and Russia were not supposed to be on the same team.
I would believe more in like a military thing than the people of Japan want to fish there. And
So-
so Russia was like, okay, we'll make up a country and you can fish there all you
Alright,
want.
Let me tell you, if I say this name, you tell me what country you think of. Nokia.
I mean-
Honestly, I don't know.
I mean, I
I
would
mean, it's a
totally
phone
think
company,
Japan, right?
Right? Everyone thinks
Okay,
Japan.
okay,
yeah.
It is a Finnish country. I mean, a Finnish
product.
product.
But
Yeah.
Finland doesn't exist, so Nokia
But
doesn't
here's
exist.
the deal: they're not sold out of Finland; they are sold out of Japan. They
That's
are,
because Japan's fishing over there for Nokias
well,
and selling
the
them to
deal is
Japan.
that Russia sold the fishing rights to Japan.
Yeah.
and Japan technically owns Finland. Right,
Yeah.
so all these phones get imported into Japan, but Japan does not sell Nokia in Japan. They just turn around and export them out.
Did the Finnish
So weird.
make anything else?
No, I don't know.
Okay, they just make
That's,
Nokia.
that's as far as my knowledge goes.
My question about this conspiracy theory is,
Why?
is Finland even there, or is it just drawn on a map just to confuse us?
It's water.
It's
right?
water.
Yeah.
If you look at a map, it's just water.
Yeah.
But I'm looking at it right here, and it's like
But it's
land.
there.
It's there on the map. It's on Google Maps.
But how do you fake the satellite imagery on that one?
No, it's not that, right? It's that you just move the borders over of Sweden a little bit and Russia,
Oh, okay.
and it disappears. Not like the
Okay.
landmass isn't
Okay,
there.
I
It's
got you.
just, yeah,
Weird.
I don't know.
Interesting.
That's such a weird conspiracy
Yeah,
theory.
that's unique.
Yeah, of all things.
Here's another one. Saddam Hussein had a Stargate.
No way.
And so here we go. The theory that the Second Gulf War was waged in order to close a Stargate owned by Saddam Hussein, thus preserving the ambitions of the New World Order and preventing an alien invasion of Earth, is not exactly widespread. Claimed by Dr. Michael E. Sala, PhD.
No.
So I know a little bit about this one.
I think this just goes to tell you that PhD means nothing.
Oh yeah,
No,
some of
maybe-
the quote smartest unquote people I know have PhDs.
Yeah.
Yeah. What were you gonna say though?
So, yeah, one of the when we went to war in Iraq, the place that they invaded first, the U.S. was their national museum, and we took a bunch of artifacts apparently. Yeah, and it goes
Okay.
along with something along
Yeah,
with
yeah.
like what they were trying to actually do was shut this down.
Yeah, I'm
or,
trying
like-
to decide if they were trying to shut down a Stargate or if they were trying to prevent the mummy from being resurrected.
Yeah,
Oh,
no,
yeah, good point. Good point.
links back into like the was it Hadron Collider?
Oh yeah.
Is
the-
yeah, yeah.
apparently
Yeah.
supposed to be to turn that Stargate back on.
Oh, that's why they created it.
yeah.
Wow.
That's cool.
So
I like that theory.
so it's like time travel.
because
and
that
stuff.
thing's kind of awesome to me anyway.
Hey, Stargate was my show back in the day.
Hey,
Dude,
that-
yeah.
That
Mhm.
was a
that
good
is
show.
Love
cool.
that show.
That was cool. I got another one here. I call this one Shark Spies. Okay, so
Oh, I like it already. Say no more.
This is coming up on. Do we have Shark Week coming up soon? When is it?
I hope so. It's
we just
October?
had.
Is it over?
I'm not sure it's
No.
over. It started a couple weeks ago, so I don't know how long it lasts.
Oh.
Isn't it called Shark Week?
We all have internet.
Isn't it a week?
Well, while you're looking that up,
Yeah.
in 2010,
Good point. I don't know how long it lasts. Maybe a month.
Shark Week lasted 3 months this year.
They'll milk it, man. If they're making money,
Oh,
they'll
yeah.
shut it down after a while.
Sharknado will just keep going.
Then it's Shark rerun
Yeah.
week.
Anyway.
So anyway.
Shark Spies.
In Egypt in the year 2010, they had this huge bump up in shark attacks on the beaches of Egypt.
Okay.
And so, excuse me. So
On the Nile.
yeah, like around the Nile, whatever. But so everyone stopped going to the beaches, and they were looking to the government officials. They're like, "Why are all these sharks all of a sudden attacking us?" And the best answer that the Egyptian government could come up with is that they are remote-controlled Israeli sharks. So the Israelis are controlling these sharks and having them attack these people swimming in the water.
You have to hate someone a lot to try and blame shark attacks on another country.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They literally did that, and the funny part is the Egyptian scientists went out to shark scientist went out to like capture some of these sharks, and they found these like GPS tracking radio
Nice.
device on them, and basically they were just like for research of
I was gonna say,
tracking them.
is wildlife research?
Yeah, exactly. And they thought that those were remote, like mind controlling the sharks to attack the Egyptian people swimming off the beach. So,
The Navy SEALs, they train dolphins,
do they?
yeah, to identify mines and stuff around their harbors and their ports.
Oh, that's so smart. Just let the dolphin blow up.
I
and-
was not aware of this.
True story.
Is it?
That I
This is
completely made
another
up.
conspiracy.
No, it's a real thing. Yeah.
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 Interesting. Brian, you got another one?
No, that was it. That was it. So this is I don't know if this is called a conspiracy theory, but have you heard of the Mandela effect?
Yes.
I feel like I've heard of this.
Yeah.
This concept is actually really interesting to me.
It is.
So the Mandela effect is when you remember an alternative memory, but it's shared by a group.
It's
Okay.
alternative history.
Alternative
is the
history,
way
yeah.
to,
Okay.
I guess, word that. Do you want to explain it? Or
So
'cause
yeah, I'm looking at some examples here.
I was about to say,
So-
I'm going to explain it in a
Just-
second if you don't.
I'm done. So
Because there's a reason why it's called the Mandela effect.
yeah. Yeah, okay, that's a good place to start. I'm
Yeah.
not going to start there. But so you know who Mandela is?
Nelson Mandela?
Yes.
Okay. So everyone
I feel like y'all are educating me. This
Yeah,
whole
we
time.
are. Yeah.
well, actually, I don't know this one as well as I know all the other ones, but his death.
do
well,
you
let
want me
just read
to?
it.
Because
Yeah.
I do know that one.
Yeah, go for it. Go for it.
So Nelson Mandela, it was there's a large group of people that remember him dying,
Okay.
but then later on, people discovered that no, he's not dead, he's just in prison. because he was in prison for such a long period of time.
Okay,
and whatever.
right.
And for some reason, a lot of people remember him as already being dead. And so
Okay.
then they discovered that he was still alive later. And it's not that they were told that he was dead, but that's how they remember it. And so you remember something that you believe, like, without a shadow of a doubt, that
yeah.
it's fact, it's truth, and whatever, and then you find out later that it's not.
Okay.
Yeah,
You
for-
want to give some other
Yeah.
examples?
Okay. So let me ask you this: you know who Sinbad is?
Yeah.
Did he ever play in a genie movie back in the day?
Oh yeah, he totally did.
Never did.
Are you,
Never did. Everyone remembers Sinbad playing in a movie in the
Wait.
early '90s called Shazam.
but was that Shaq? Or am I like doing something different now? Okay.
You're just doing something different.
Okay.
There is, yeah.
I was going to say, I think there is a movie with Shaq as Shazam.
Or I
That's
thought he was
something
a
else.
genie. Maybe, but wait. So
Yeah.
why do I think that Sinbad was a genie in a movie back in the day?
Like that's
Well,
one of the,
Sinbad was not a genie, but played with the genie is the idea, right?
yeah. So I'm looking up.
I was thinking that Popeye was.
So
in a
there
movie
was-
with a genie as Sinbad, but
Yeah,
no,
there was
he
a-
was it was an Aladdin story, but I don't remember. Yeah,
There was a movie in 1996.
Lance is freaking
Yeah,
out.
I'm very confused right now.
There was a movie in 1996 called Kazam.
Oh, Kazam, that's what it is.
that's what
what you're
Shaq
thinking.
was in.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
But everyone, like you ask them, everyone says Sinbad and Shazam.
Okay.
So
Interesting.
yeah, so this is one of those things that everyone's remembering the same thing for whatever odd reason.
Whoa, that's so weird.
Yeah, so it's a large group of people remembering the same thing that's not right.
That's so
that's
crazy.
against what the actual historical truth is.
Do you think that was like the government tried to cover something up and we just all
It's mind control.
Like, yeah, we
it's
all just
because we're
freaked
eating
out.
McDonald's burgers that are made from children.
So let me ask you this: Forrest Gump. What are one of the more famous quotes from Forrest Gump?
what
I'm
what is
asking,
it?
yeah. Either one of you.
Life is like a box of chocolate.
That's what you would think, right?
Right.
Not happened. Didn't happen.
Wait.
So this one
Wait.
is just close, but it says life was like a box of chocolates.
I thought he said Mama always said
Life is like a box. It's not. And people say that it's been changed. And now if you go back and replay it, it says, my mom is something, and life was always like a box of chocolates.
No way.
Yeah.
So we
Isn't that-
all
isn't that
remembered
weird?
it wrong.
How do we all remember?
Honestly, I've never watched Forrest Gump.
Pause this podcast right now.
We'll be back. We'll be back in like 2.5 hours.
So anyway, I don't know if that's conspiracy theory, but it's really
Well,
interesting.
another one that people point to is the "No, Luke, I am your father."
Yes.
That's
Yeah.
another one that people point
Yeah.
to a lot, and because so many people believe that that's the way it's said, it's actually "No, I am your father." There's no Luke in there,
Right.
and that's another one that people point to. Can't remember. There's a few others too.
Oh, yeah.
It's
yeah.
really interesting.
The more interesting ones are things like logos and stuff like that. Like,
yes.
if I say Looney Tunes, what comes to your mind? Like, how would you spell that out?
Like,
Like, you see the logo,
uh-huh.
right?
I mean, I can't
Most-
spell anyways.
Yeah, most people say it says Looney Tunes, Tunes. There was never a Looney Tunes, Toons.
Right. You know what? That's probably part of the reason why I can't spell.
It's always changing.
Doesn't make sense.
Anyway,
So, I have another one here. I want to get off that one before my brain explodes. Like, I'm really confused right now. Like, is anything real?
I've got something that isn't real on mine. You want me to tell you real quick?
Oh, God. Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
J.K. Rowling isn't real.
J.K. Rowling?
You know the lady who wrote Harry Potter
so
and all that business.
explain this one a little
Yeah,
bit.
who wrote?
In 2005, Norwegian filmmaker Nina Grunfeld argued that the Harry Potter series had been created by an entire industry of writers, and that the woman known as J.K. Rowling was only a front. And she said in quotes, "Is it possible that a person can write 6 thick books that are translated into 55 languages and sell more than 250 million copies in less than 10 years?"
I'm questioning the whole world right now.
My childhood.
Like, honestly, from Brian and Matt talking right now, like, I just need to go watch Alien Files and calm down.
Let's forget all our other segments today. Let's just
We're going to
Go
chase
down-
this.
go down the rabbit hole.
Oh, man. That is crazy. So I've never read the Harry Potter stuff.
Yeah.
But apparently, like, there's a lady who is J.K. Rowling.
Yes.
And so she's just like the face and she didn't actually write it. Is that part of the conspiracy theory?
I guess.
So they're
I
saying
would
it's
think
not
that would be-
possible, right?
That's what this woman says. Yeah.
I mean, like,
The thing is, I don't know. I don't know a
I have no
comparison.
experience. in
Yeah,
that.
so it's
Yeah,
like,
so-
well, I know the Bible's been printed lots of times.
but, and also like the fact that the 50 languages, obviously she didn't translate all of them.
No, yeah,
like
she
someone
didn't.
did
No.
that.
I mean, she's got a whole team and staff.
Yes,
You know.
absolutely.
All she has to do is write it.
I mean, she does.
Yeah.
She can't speak 55 languages.
Right. So I mean,
How do you know?
I mean, honestly, she could just talk into a microphone and it dictate it for her, and then she just give it to her editors and say, "Make this better," and then
Yeah.
there you go.
Like 3 words. Can you finish this up for me?
Here's the title.
Harry
run
Potter
with
wins. Go.
that. Wait,
Harry
spoilers.
Potter or Christ.
So
yeah.
you guys have all heard of the flat Earth theory, obviously. One of the big
yes,
ones.
Yeah,
But have
that's
you-
the truth. What do you think?
Yeah, exactly. It's so true. But have you heard of the hollow Earth theory?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, so this is where basically the whole underworld is full of jungles and dinosaurs and ancient civilizations that left us.
Yeah.
And the only way to get there is to jump into holes that are in the North and South Pole. And that's how you get into the hollow Earth.
I find this
Man, I
one.
want to find that hole.
I find this a lot more plausible than flat Earth, but
Yeah.
it doesn't have as much traction. I
Yeah.
don't believe.
Yeah.
No, I don't think so. Have you ever seen the movie Metropolis? It's like a 1920s black and white silent film.
Wow.
Yep, believe it or not, I've
Haven't
seen
watched
this.
many of those.
It was like there was a whole like underworld of people, but it was more of like here's the underclass and they're trying to rise up and stuff like this, and then the underclass stop working, and then the whole city kind of goes to crap. Yeah. Anyway. That would be like more. I would think that there would be someone with a conspiracy of something like that. Like a
Yeah.
whole like underworld of people that are like enslaved within the earth. That sounds like something that someone would have made up.
So usually these conspiracy theories have something they hinge on, right?
Yeah.
A big thing. So for the Hollow Earth, do you know like what that is?
I think it's like, dinosaurs just disappeared. These ancient civilizations just disappeared. Roanoke just went away, or the people of Roanoke, they just
Oh,
found
so-
a hole into
yeah.
that hollow earth and went in there.
So
That's where they're stuck.
How did that happen though?
I mean, they found a hole and
Well, yeah. No, I understand. I understand people getting inside, but how did there become this crust that's detached from the inside? Well, if it's hollow,
Like-
what's in there that they're able to stand on? Like what? I don't understand the physics of it.
Maybe they're walking
Matt's
like
brain
upside
is-
down.
Is it reversed?
Yeah, they're walking
Oh,
upside down inside.
reverse
yeah.
gravity.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. This has got a lot more interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
So what's your light source?
you probably still have a molten core that's like a sun.
Yeah.
Ooh.
That's the second sun.
Hey!
It all comes together.
We told you in the beginning.
All right.
They're all connected.
We need to start our own conspiracy and start writing a book.
Yeah, buddy. Do y'all have any more?
No, I don't.
You know more,
That's
Brian?
too good.
No, that's a good.
I like
that's a
that
good
too
idea.
much.
Let's see if I can get this sound to work over here.
Hey,
We got some
it's the right sound.
I know what this means.
yeah, we got some Florida Man coming in for you guys. So we haven't done Florida Man in a while, and I'm going to try to update you fellas and all of our hipsters out there on what Florida Man has been up to. So the first one is Florida Man tried to board a flight to Orlando with a fake grenade. So he's trying to get onto a plane to Orlando with a fake grenade. So
That's fake.
Yeah, I'll let you know. Well, it's actually, when you get into the story, there's a little bit more to
Okay.
it, actually. So after trying to board a flight from Pennsylvania to Orlando with a fake grenade, he also tried to board it with an unassembled rocket-propelled launcher. And Florida Man had it in his bag, and it set off the alarms. And
What kind of rocket propelled launcher?
it was like
Wait.
a legit RPG, like what you see.
That sounds a little confusing. Rocket propelled launcher.
Rocket. propelled
You know,
grenade
right.
launcher. Yeah.
Right. That makes more sense because
Yeah. RPG.
right. Because rocket propelled launcher, is that the way that it was worded?
It was worded rocket propelled launcher. So,
Word missing.
because the launcher itself is not rocket
but
propelled.
basically, they were both replicas. They were both fakes,
Oh, okay.
and they essentially just let them on the plane.
Sweet.
Look, I have
So,
I
yeah.
have good sources
No
that
harm,
have
no
told
foul.
me, you know, he flies a lot. He's got to get around. He's got all these special events he's got to go to and everything. And
Yeah.
he was tired of the people, the TSA agents, not really checking bags, not doing their job. They were
Hmm.
getting lazy. He's like, listen, I've got to do something to put them on their toes.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
he's like, hey, you know what? I'm going to pack these fake things. They're not going to hurt anyone. And this from now on, they'll be on their toes.
Yeah.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, it was like quality control
That's
for
it. Yep.
yeah,
Spot check.
for safety for the
Yeah.
planes. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
I hope
exactly
they
what
didn't
it
break
was.
his replicas. I mean,
No,
that'd just be
no, they,
disappointing.
I don't think they did. They were all pretty cool about it because they're like, oh, you know, you tried to, you know, get one over on us, but
Yeah.
you know, they got it.
Yeah.
So anyway, so what do y'all are like doing
I
hand
don't
signals
know.
over
I
here,
like
like
it.
really
Brent's
confusing.
doing
me.
sign
music-
language,
the
and I
music-
can't read sign
The
language.
music was really loud for a minute for me.
Oh, yeah. Oh, we're professional on this
So, here we
podcast.
go. All right, next one. Florida man calls 911 to get out of his fast food shift, and cops say it worked, sort of. So basically, what happened while working his shift at Hardee's, Florida man called an emergency-only number on Saturday to report that two armed men robbed him of his necklace, money, and phone while he was standing at the intersection of a highway. And in a snarky Facebook post, the sheriff's department said Florida man called 911 to report an armed robbery and reiterated what he said was suspect. Basically, it's a big, long story. He just he didn't want to go to Hardee's that day to work, and he pretended like he got robbed so that he could get out
All
of
right,
it.
let me tell you the true story. So what happened here?
Fake news here.
What happened here is he called up 911 to actually report a robbery, but then afterwards he decided it was too dangerous for the cops to take care of this, so he
Okay.
took care of it himself.
With his finger gun
You're right.
Yes.
that he's used in the past.
and then and then when the cops came, he gave him a bogus story because, I mean,
Yeah.
don't waste their time.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought he was like just calling, and then all the cops would show up, and then he's like, "Hey, I'm just kidding. Free Hardee's for everyone."
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
No, he's more of a snow guy. He brings all the good stuff.
Well, on the bright side, he didn't have to go to his 11 a.m. shift at Hardee's, so there you go.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
got out of it.
Yep.
I mean, we're 11 a.m. is early. You don't want
early.
you don't want to.
True.
It's easy to sleep in for 11 a.m.
All right, so let's look at another one here. So, Florida man was arrested after hitting his dad with pizza because he was mad that he helped birth him. So, Florida man was arrested on a domestic battery after admitting he had hit his dad in the face with a slice of pizza because he was mad that his dad had helped birth him. Affidavit showed Florida man held his dad down and yelled at him after shoving the pizza in his face. And after letting his dad get up, Florida man went outside and waited for authorities to arrive. And he basically just sat on the front porch and he said, I knew I was going to get arrested for this. So, yeah, that's what happened, guys.
I like the idea. I want to know what the sound was when he slapped him in the face with pizza, like like a little wet smack. Yeah.
And then, like, the muffled, ooh, I don't know. So,
That has to be one of the most pleasant ways to, be slapped. is
Depends
with
on how
pizza.
It depends on how hot it is.
That is true. Does it say
True.
what kind of pizza?
let's see here. Well, okay, so it did say here.
Did they say like mushrooms?
Deep dish.
Well, here's the funny part. Deputies observed chunks of cheese and sauce where the incident happened. So they had to do like a crime scene investigation on that.
Oh, those cops, man, hated their job that day. They're like, this is ridiculous.
Just cheese and sauce, huh?
Yeah, just apparently cheese and sauce.
Wasn't worth it.
Not seeing any other stuff.
Yeah, leave that on the floor.
But we were actually a listener submitted some Florida Man stories
Yeah.
to us. This is from Josiah, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so these are just a bunch of headlines. I'm just going to...
One of our friends over at Movie Munchies.
Yeah, one of our, over at Movie Munchies. We'll
Yeah.
talk about him in a minute.
Yeah.
But these are some of the headlines. I just want to get your guys' reaction on some of these. Florida couple uses pet alligator to reveal 10th child's gender.
Awesome.
So they have a pet alligator. They have a pet
Wait,
alligator
wait,
and 10
wait.
kids.
Florida
Wait, I
man.
was gonna say 10 kids is what 10 kids.
10 kids. This is the... Well, a 10th one is on the way. And it looks like
I mean, do they
used-
feed them to the alligators?
My question
Gotta
is,
feed
are
the
they
alligator.
having all 10 kids at once right now?
I don't know.
Gender reveal
Surprise.
multiples?
So it looks like they threw a balloon at the alligator and it like poofed out smoke of the color to reveal the gender.
The balloon, not the
Yeah,
alligator.
The balloon. Yeah, the balloon. They threw the balloon at the
Alligator's like,
The flatulent alligator, like we're just waiting patiently.
oh, a balloon.
Oh, that's what it is. All right.
Oh, it's a boy.
According to this, it is a girl. So congratulations, Florida Man.
Yeah.
Another one.
I didn't know Florida Man was even married.
Right? He's got a lot of kids going on. All right, so Florida Man threatens to kill professor for scheduling a 7 a.m. final exam.
well, that's reasonable.
Yeah, totally get that.
If you can't make 11 a.m.,
Yeah, shift at Hardee's.
shift at Hardee's,
Yeah.
7 a.m. ain't happening.
Yeah, yeah.
Have you
can't
had a
think
7
like that.
a.m. exam?
Yes, I've had
Really?
that. I've had a 6 a.m. exam.
What?
before. Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
That's nuts.
What kind of
I've had an 8
crazy
a.m..
people?
Yeah.
I don't think I've had a 7 a.m.
Yeah, 8's. I can understand 8.
Yeah.
I don't
that's-
understand
yeah.
7. 6 is ridiculous.
Well, I think he
Six
gave
is
an option to
deserving
the
of
class
death.
of like 2 different times, and the other time was ridiculous, like on a Friday late in the day or something like
Yeah.
that. So no one wanted to.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
So let's go through a few more of these. Police arrest Florida man who claims playing basketball naked enhances his skill level.
True.
So
Brian's like, I speak from experience.
it is truth.
Dude, nobody's gonna guard you, man.
You're right. You know what? You're right.
There's no restrictions. Like
Yeah.
you can just,
So this guy had to be like at a public
man.
park and like I just need a little less weight so I can get a little higher. Like, oh my goodness.
It's cooler.
Yeah. Oh yeah. True.
I mean,
Yeah.
name a disadvantage.
I
Yeah.
Exactly.
mean, you got a
You're
point.
proving my point.
I'm just trying to stay PC or PG, whatever.
Oh man, that was a little. Oh, sorry.
Anyways,
Let's do one or two more.
I like that.
right,
he's,
so-
he's right.
So we know Florida man's always in and out of jail, right? This
Yeah.
might be like a record in and out of jail or out of and in of jail. So Florida man released from jail and arrested again in the jail parking lot for trying to steal a car. I mean, you gotta get home, right?
That's awesome.
Yeah.
He's probably saving a dog.
Yeah,
That's
something like
the
that.
real story.
Yeah,
Yeah.
They always like misinterpret Florida man here.
Yeah.
Oh man.
See, but by the time they went over to like apprehend him, the dog had already run away, and they didn't know that he was saving a dog.
You know, I'm looking at these headlines. That's got to be the last one. we can't go into detail on some of these other ones. These are a little much. So yeah, Florida man. He's always look out for him. He's always on the prowl.
All right. Well, thank you, Josiah, for providing some of those. So, as we said, this came from our friend from Movie Munchies. So, our Movie Munchies is our sponsor of the podcast, and you've probably heard us talk about them before. But let me tell you about them again. So, when you're wondering what to watch on a Friday night, and you're spending way too much time browsing new releases, and you can't find anything you want to watch, Movie Munchies over on Facebook is there to help you out. Movie Munchies is constantly updating their page with fresh reviews for movies available on streaming sites or in theaters. So not only do you get a great synopsis and movie details, but you can digest it in about 5 minutes or less. Learn about the movies you want to see or find out about movies you should see. They give you all the information that you need to pick out your next movie, and they make it entertaining too. So swing by Movie Munchies on Facebook, like their page, pick out your next movie, and stay updated on new arrivals. Sorry.
You almost got through that.
But, we've seen some of the things. I don't know if they put anything out recently.
you know what,
I'm going to have to get onto them.
They put one up. Okay, so I was looking through their stuff the other day.
Yeah.
And you know how Netflix comes out with their own movies, and you're like, I don't know if that's any good or not.
Uh-huh.
They do the reviews on those movies.
Yes.
And that's so helpful.
Yeah,
It
because
is.
you can't find, if it's a new Netflix movie,
Yeah.
you can't find anything on it.
Right. No.
Because all these other movies, they've got months to hype it up and
Right.
they have all these ads.
And the Netflix movies are pretty well produced.
Yeah, they're really good.
Honestly, most all the Netflix movies I've seen have been equal production or better production
Yes.
than
Right.
anything else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you're looking for a review for some of those movies, Movie Munchies has got that for you.
Right, yeah, they've been doing a good job on that. So
Yeah.
I've seen a few I'm going to add to my watch list. So.
Yeah. So we appreciate their support for supporting this podcast. Please support them so that they can support us and you support us by supporting them.
Good job.
Oh, man. All right. So let's go into our final segment, which is our classic draft. And this week it should be entertaining. Worst pet names. And when I say pet names, I'm not talking about the name you give your dog, like Pookie, which is a terrible pet name, but we're talking about worst pet names that you give your significant other.
Right.
So your boyfriend or girlfriend or wife or whatever.
Or non-gender specific.
Husband. Yeah. Whatever.
I have to, before we get started here, I was going to say, do any of you have pet names? But I'll just direct this at you, Matt.
Wait, whoa.
do you call Brittany Dirt? I just name dropped.
Burn.
I'm going to bleep that out later. I think I might actually have to bleep that.
Whoops. Anyway, I realized halfway through spitting that out. Anyways, do I have any? Not. I've used Angel.
Oh,
I've used Angel.
Okay, you've probably used that when you were in deep trouble, right?
No, I used that when we were dating more than anything else.
So you slacking off now? Is that what you're talking about?
No, I mean, I still use
Got
it.
the ring on the finger, you're like, ain't got to try anymore.
I'm done.
I still use it, but the thing is, like, we used to text a lot more, and I only ever
Yeah.
really called her that in text. So whether it was in texting or writing,
Yeah.
which I still write her notes, and I'll call her Angel in notes. But otherwise, yeah. What about you?
Yeah, when my wife and I started dating, she told me straight up front she did not like pet names.
Yeah.
However, when I was making this list the other day, she asked me, she's going to kill me.
Yeah, no.
Why don't you have a pet name for me? And I looked at her and said, seriously?
Yeah, no, there was actually one that, well, I guess I'll hold off on
Yeah,
it.
just hold on, yeah.
Although at the same time, it's not a really bad one. It's just one that I've heard, the thing that bothers me is when people overuse a pet name.
yes.
Yes.
So even if it's like baby, it's just, some people will say baby too much.
Yeah.
It's like baby. So shut up.
Yeah.
Just use a name.
It gets old.
Yeah.
It gets old.
Well, you kicking us off?
Yes. So I have first pick, Lance, or you have second
I
pick?
have second pick.
And Brian, you have third pick.
Yeah.
You're
get
going to
a twofer.
realize that, the third
Yeah.
pick and the first pick are the way to go. The second pick kind of stinks.
But I feel like on this one, it doesn't matter which one you're at.
Yeah.
I don't have that many.
I have 6, and
I have
I'm scared.
6. Yeah. So, and I feel like they're going to get taken.
Yeah.
But
All right,
I'll start
so,
making up stuff. I hate it when somebody calls their significant other Zimbabwe. It really grinds my gears.
Yeah. All right, so for my number 1 first pick for worst pet names, I'm going to go with Poopsie.
Oh, good one. That was my number one.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I mean,
That's terrible.
yeah,
That
like,
is
who
bad.
calls someone Poopsie?
Poopsie.
Like, there's nothing good about that.
No.
That's
It
an
doesn't
insult.
give me a good image.
No.
It
It's
doesn't
like a small version of, poop.
yeah. That's what my kids say. Mommy, I made a poopsie. Well, they don't say mommy to me, but
Yeah.
Yeah,
what you got, Lance?
yeah, poopsie is like an insult.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with fluff bumps.
Is that
Did you make that up?
No, I did not.
Do you know someone?
No, I don't know.
Okay.
I was just looking up stuff online, and fluff bumps was one that I thought that is
this
the
sounds like
worst
another word for hemorrhoids.
Oh gosh. Oh, I was thinking cellulite. Man,
Whoa!
That's a little bit better.
Yeah. Don't call your significant other fluff bumps.
how did you go there?
I'm sorry. That sounds like.
Erase.
Oh,
Yeah. So
yep.
fluff
Charmin
bumps.
Ultra for your fluff bumps.
Oh, that's good. Oh, right. All right, Brad. What's
Am I
your
up?
number one?
Okay.
Yeah.
Bay.
Bay. Yeah. Uh-huh.
That's annoying.
Man,
I'm with you on that.
For the longest
it's not
time,
used as much anymore.
No,
That
but then
got
for a
real
while.
popular
Yeah.
for like a short period of time, and it was just like, oh my goodness.
And for the longest time, I did not realize it meant before anyone else.
Yeah.
Right. I thought it
Yeah.
was just people were mispronouncing babe,
Yeah, that's what I thought
Gotcha.
too.
and that annoyed me.
See, I thought that people were screwing up beau, like your beau,
Yeah.
like the French version of
Yeah.
Or
babe or whatever.
You mean boo? Like
No,
that's
beau.
my boo.
No,
That's my
well,
beau.
there's
Like,
They say beau?
yeah, beau is.
I didn't even know that thing.
Beau's
Okay.
boyfriend, though, specific,
Oh,
right?
is it? I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't know. I don't
Wow.
use it. It's French.
We don't like different. Wait, we gotta be careful. Look at our stats.
We do have French listeners. Thank you,
We
French
love-
listeners. We love you guys.
I love French fries. That came from Belgium.
If you want to be our beau, like and subscribe.
Yeah, wee wee.
All right, Brad. What's your number two?
Pookie Bear.
Pookie
Oh,
Bear.
okay.
Yeah, that was on my list.
Yeah.
Pookie Bear's gotta.
Could have
leave.
just left it with Pookie. I'll be honest.
Yeah,
But
you know,
I'll go with Pookie Bear. Yeah.
apparently it
both.
came from Garfield. His
Oh yeah.
teddy bear, whatever, is called Pookie.
Yes.
Yeah.
Uh huh.
I didn't realize that till I
Okay.
started researching.
Yeah, you're right.
Wow.
I used to
Pookie
read those
Bear.
comics a lot, but I didn't make that connection.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Very cool.
All right, Lancer.
So, my second pick, enjoy typing this one in, Matt. It's going to be Honey Bunches of Cuddle Muffins.
What?
Where are you getting these, Lancer? I believe you're making them up.
I'm not.
This is a guy who's
Never-
single.
So,
Never ever have I heard anyone call. I mean,
Yeah.
Honey Bunches of Oats.
Honey Bunches of Cuddle Muffins is a real pet name
Yeah.
that you can call someone if you so desire, but it's terrible. So,
It is. I'll give you that. It is terrible, and it's too long.
exactly. Like you can't be like, hey, Honey Bunches of Cuddle Muffins, can you.
After I call them by that, I'm going to be tired of talking to
Right.
them already.
Exactly. That's a full sentence right there.
So, all right, I'm done with you.
I've reached my quota.
All right, my number two is gonna be baby cakes.
Yes, that was on my list.
Because
Yeah.
my thing is like, when I think of baby cakes, there's only a few things that babies make,
Yep.
and baby cakes
Yep.
has
Yep.
gotta be just baby poop.
Yeah.
Because it ain't. They don't make edible cakes.
No, no. Although I've seen some kids throw up in other people's mouths.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah.
I guess that is edible. In a
That's
way.
baby slushy.
Blah.
Oh.
Nope. Nope.
All right, and then my number three is sweet cheeks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a little too
That could-
vulgar for the children.
You know,
Like,
all we're doing.
What?
All we're doing by this draft is making a lot of people angry.
I know,
This
right?
was a bad idea.
I thought about this.
Hey, wait a second. That's what I call my significant other.
That's what they call me.
Sweet cheeks, listen to what they're saying.
What'd you say, Pookie?
Oh, honey bunches of cuddle muffins.
Yeah, my thing with sweet cheeks is like there's only two different kinds of cheeks. And
How are you relating everything?
I found a way. I'm trying to think if I can squeeze the last one into the right spot. Nope. All right, Lancer, go for number three.
All right, so my number three will be kitten pickles.
Kitten Pickles.
Kitten
What?
Pickles.
Number 3.
The terrible
Also-
pet name.
Yeah, that is terrible. Never heard of it, but
Yeah.
it's terrible.
Yeah,
I
it's-
don't
it's
think I've
bad.
heard anyone use any of those three that you picked.
That's because they're so bad.
Are they
Lancer-
from the 20s?
Lancer made these up 30
Fluff
seconds before
bumps.
starting this segment.
Fluff Bumps, Honey Bunches of Cuddle Muffins, and Kitten Pickles. Kitten Pickles doesn't even make any sense. I can't even like.
None of these make sense. What are you doing?
I mean, Fluff Bumps, I guess might, but
Yeah, because
not
it
in a
might
good
mean
way.
hemorrhoids.
All right.
Brian, what's your number 3?
Okay, this one is just plain disgusting to me. Mommy or daddy or mom or dad. or,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You know, that is so wrong. And,
yeah,
you know,
that-
just
Yeah.
gives me the heebie-jeebies
Yeah,
every time.
there's certain things you just don't say in public.
You don't say it all. I mean, it's different if you have kids and you're like,
Yeah.
you know,
Go tell mom.
Go tell mommy.
Hey, or
you know,
say, or like when the kids are in the
Yeah.
room and you're like,
Yeah.
hey, mom, or whatever. Because you want to keep the kids
Sure.
saying mom.
But if they're not in the room, you shouldn't be saying, you know, mommy or
yeah.
daddy. That's just
Yeah.
bizarre.
Yeah.
Don't like it at all.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
It's a little cringy.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Gets a little weird.
Yep.
Anyway, Brian, number 4.
Pudding.
Pudding.
Pudding. Yep.
Yeah.
That was on my list.
An apostrophe. Pudding.
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 Yeah.
I've never heard anyone say pudding.
No.
That would be even more weird.
pudding. Make me some tea, pudding.
Pudding. And
Pudding.
it's usually, is it
Dinga.
just pudding or is it pudding pie that people say?
Kind of both. So.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I guess you say pudding pie.
Yeah. I get credit for both.
Yeah.
I'll put in parentheses afterwards. Pie.
That'll make the difference.
If you win, you're disqualified.
Oh, man. So it's my turn now, right?
Yes.
And this is my last pick.
It is your last.
And this
pick.
is sad because I have 2 on here that I really want.
Is it one that's been used before in history?
I think actually both of these might be more common.
Okay.
One of them's got to be an honorable mention. Love Puddle.
Love
I
puddle.
want to go with Love Puddle.
What in the world, Lancer? Seriously?
I mean, like,
You know, like the more I do this podcast with you guys, the more I realize your situation, Lancer.
You learn
Week 2, love puddle.
what? you learn a lot about people when you do this podcast. I will say.
Honey
yeah.
bunches of, what was it, muffins?
Cuddle muffins.
Cuddle Muffins, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, why not? Like, give it a shot, guys. Tell me what happens.
I'm trying to figure out what a love puddle is.
You know, I don't know.
Um,
Let's just
Yo, like-
leave that.
You know what a love puddle is? You know, like when you have a
Is that
pup-
when the dog just like
Yeah.
pees for
Yeah.
you?
like you have a puppy and it's
Yeah.
so happy to see you
Yes.
that it just
Yes.
pees all over the place.
Yes.
But the end product is still not something cute.
no.
You know, someone's cleaning it up.
Yes.
that's why it's bad. You are dog urine.
Yeah.
That's the fancy way of saying it.
So
Yeah,
that,
that is
goes to
bad.
my number 4, dog urine. No, my number 4. Actually, I have 3 here, and I'm gonna go with honey pot because
Honey
I don't
pot.
get the pot portion of it.
Oh well, Florida man can tell you all about that.
Honey.
I like it. Honey pot. Like, why does it always have to be 2 words? Like, stop it with the 2 words, stick it with 1. Honey's fine.
Unless
honey
you're
pot?
Lancer and there's 6.
Who wants the honey pot?
Honey
Just
pot
don't
you
know.
want the honey.
bunches of oats.
Yeah. Well, yeah, honey bunches of cuddle muffins, whatever in the world that is.
No, it's because you're trying to say they're filled with sweetness.
So they're just a vessel for the sweetness that's inside them.
Yeah, and eventually
What?
they'll run out. Yeah.
Yeah, it'll all be eaten away.
When they love puddle.
So wait, do you guys still have more on your list? Are we gonna do a 5th round, or should we just call it at 4?
I mean, we can. I don't think my 5th round is great.
Yeah,
but,
I have a few more.
you go,
Okay.
But-
you go 5th round. All right. How do I go to? Why do I make a new row? I don't know how to make a new row. Okay. I'm good.
Wait,
All
what
right.
do you do for a living?
Yes, but I don't use Google's stupid
Oh.
spreadsheet things. Okay.
Not a sponsor.
No.
They could be.
Yes.
You could be if you
Probably.
Man, that'd be sweet. All right, so 5th round, I'll go with. All right, so I don't mind Angel because I've used it. Angel face.
Oh, that's bad.
A little too specific there, because
The rest of you, just your face.
yes,
Got to work on everything else.
you got an angel face, and I'm leaving it there, babe.
Oh man,
right.
thanks for doing this 5th round for me, guys. I know you did this for
Yeah,
me.
you're welcome.
Please don't pick mine. I don't think you will.
Probably not. Probably not. I think a terrible pet name would be Hey You.
Hey, you.
Hey You.
All right.
That would be bad.
Okay. That would be bad.
If you always said Hey You to your significant other,
Yeah.
that would probably start to rub the wrong
You're not
way.
good at this pet name thing.
I know the bad ones, all right? This is the worst pet name.
But they have to be real.
All right, Brian, what's
All
your
right.
number 5?
I don't think we've said this so far.
Yeah.
Toots.
No, yeah. Toots.
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 Yeah.
That's a very, like, 50s.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
like that's Marilyn
Listen here.
Monroe.
Hey,
Toots.
Toots.
Yeah.
Meet me outside. Hey, see?
Yeah, that one's like for some reason that one's insulting.
She's quite the bride, ain't she?
Get a catcher. Make me a sandwich, eh? Toots.
So, honorable mention, I've got pickle on my list, too.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
Yeah, pickle's like, what?
You know, are there any good food ones?
I guess honey's okay.
Yeah, honey's.
Mhm.
Sugar.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Sweetums, but that's not really a food.
That's from like Parks and Rec. Did y'all
Is it?
not watch Parks and Rec?
I did.
Yeah.
I
It
don't
was the candy factory in
Oh, yeah,
Eagleton.
Sweetums. I was like, what?
Yeah. So
Where they had all their.
There's quite the pause there.
yeah, y'all just looked at me like you're an idiot. So,
Did you
Water
guys
was-
have any other honorable mentions? Or
I had muffins.
muffins. I had a cutie patootie, cow pie, and schnookums.
Okay,
Oh,
I've
yeah,
heard of
see,
those.
make sense.
I didn't want them though because like they weren't as bad.
But they're real.
They are. But
Like, there's like, what's the next 2 words I can make up? Fluff, bumps.
Honey bunches of pickle.
All right. Well, thank you once again for listening to this podcast. We really appreciate you guys listening. And like I said at the beginning, be sure to stop by on Facebook, facebook.com/Shoot From The Hip Podcast, Twitter @HipShot Podcast, and Instagram HipShot Podcast. Follow along on those social medias. That would help us out a ton. We'd be able to get you guys informed as far as what's coming up, what's going
Right.
on,
Yeah.
new podcasts,
they should start
cool stuff.
Start expecting us to put exclusive content there
Yeah.
because it is coming.
And even better, you can follow it all on our new website, sfthpodcast.com.
Best website I've ever
Absolutely. And you can go ahead and hit subscribe wherever it is that you're listening. Now, if you're listening on the website, there's probably not a subscribe button, but you could get to the subscribe button for sure.
You can get to it, and I will try and put a subscribe button on there.
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll get that sorted out for you guys. Be sure to hit that subscribe button, leave a review, rating, whatever.
See. Yeah.
All right, well, thank you once again for listening to this episode of Shoot From The Hip.
Bless your soul for listening. And until next time, don't you go dying on us. We need all the listeners we can get.